Yo, what's going on YouTube? This your boy Tay. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, welcome to the channel. If you're a returner, appreciate you for returning. I kind of wanted to test out the different speeds of superchargers versus the charger that I use at work. The main difference between all these superchargers, whether you're charging at a version 1, V2, V3, not sure if the V4s are out yet, but the main difference is just going to be your kilowatt per hour. That's going to determine how many miles you're going to get per hour and basically your charging speed, how long it's going to take or how slow. So this one right here is actually in Cary, North Carolina, a very nice location. I did not have a lot of time, so I put in a mobile order and walked to Chick-fil-A real quick because I was actually pretty late to work today. But it was a really dope Cybertruck out here as well, charging up. So, I had to get some footage of that for y'all real quick. So I ended up walking to the Chick-fil-A, literally right across the complex, and I was on about 12%. Also, keep in mind, like I had mentioned earlier, I was only here for about 5 to 7 minutes because I was late to work. So I definitely didn't sit around too long. I got a couple minutes to charge just to see how much it would cost and how long it would take. And it looks like it cost me about $1.80 at that supercharger to go from 5 to 12%. So you could do the math on that. I'm not 100% sure on the math, but that doesn't seem honestly too bad. I mean, I doubled the percent that I had. It only cost me like $1, but it was only 5%, so that's not too hard to double. But nonetheless, now I'm at my job charger. These are super slow, and I actually ended up not using my work charger last night. We had a very slow night, so I ended up going home pretty early, so I didn't even use it. So I ended up waking up the next morning, and this is what you see right now. I ended up going to a different supercharger than the first one that I went to in the video. This one is actually very close to our local airport, probably a couple miles down the street. This is a very nice one. This one's probably my favorite. Now, I don't know the difference in these chargers like I mentioned a little bit earlier. I'm still trying to learn and get the terminology of them. I don't know really the difference between the 1s, 2s, and the 3s. But the one thing I did notice is that the cord on this one is way thicker. I'm not sure if that's because it's a higher version, if it's more power coming through it, or if it's the opposite. I'm not really sure. But these cords are definitely a lot thicker. As you can see me unattaching it there, getting it hooked up to the car. And you can definitely hear that Mustang or Camaro or something back there in the background as I'm plugging in here in the sheets. But this is a very nice location, man. It's always very clean. Usually always a lot of stalls open. And like I mentioned, we're right here by the airport. You can see the plane taking off right there above the trees. But definitely one of my favorite charging spots when I'm going to use a supercharger. I try not to supercharge too often at all. But you can see here that I was just getting started. So I was at about 15%. This is the same percentage basically from last night. I really didn't drive anywhere else. So I was starting out with a decent 15%. And I just wanted to see how long it would take and how much it would cost. So if you check those timestamps at the top of the screen, when I first plugged in, it was 10:56, and then to like 11:04, I pretty much doubled up again on my charge. So this supercharger is way faster than the one in Cary, literally way faster. You can see this one is pulling 96 kilowatts plus 16. And if I'm not mistaken, the supercharger in Cary was only pulling about 58 kilowatts per hour. This one is pulling 97, so almost double. So as you can see, that's the difference in a lot of these chargers. So it becomes kind of trial and error after a while of finding out which ones are better for you, which ones are going to be faster, which ones. It just depends on what you're going for, because personally speaking, I am not an everyday supercharger. I try to honestly never supercharge. I try to just charge for free at work because it's free. You can't beat free 99. So personally, I don't like to use the superchargers at all. But the one thing that I do like about them is just the speed. As you've noticed throughout this video, even though it's been cut and chopped a little bit, most of the time I'm sitting at these places like 15, 20 minutes, and you can get almost a full battery, bro. You can get like half of your power back from like 5-10% in like 20 minutes. It's pretty incredible. Versus when I'm at work, it's very slow. It'll take me 6 to 8 hours to go from 15% to like 85. Like that'll take like 8 hours, like a pretty long time, but when you had to be to work anyway, you got to be there. And I work a 12-hour a night job, so it works in my favor for me. For most people, that might be way too long. It just depends on your lifestyle and what you do. I think that makes all the difference when it comes to Teslas, because you're going to have some people who are just daily driving 10, 15 miles a day. You don't need that much percentage. I think the daily recommended for Tesla actually is like 50% to like 80. They want you to stay in that range. So I pretty much just try to always go based off the recommendations from the company itself. But if you want my advice, I would advise, unless you just have to or taking a very long trip, probably not to supercharge. It's not good for the longevity of your Tesla battery. And if you know anything about EV cars, your battery is the whole car. A replacement battery can cost, for a Model S, it can cost like upwards of $20,000 after labor. So you basically talking about almost the whole value of the car, so quite crazy, but that's where we at. That's mainly all that I had planned for this video. Things to come pretty soon. So we get my windows tinted next week, I believe next Thursday or Friday. So that'd be real dope. I'm gonna ask the dude, his name is Tyler. He do like his own little mobile express window tinting. So I'm gonna ask him if he want to do some content, or if he's cool with me wearing like my POV camera to drop the car off and pick it up. I think that would be super dope. Some good content for the YouTube. So stay tuned for that. That'll probably be part 4 of this series, in the day of the life for my Tesla Model S. I've enjoyed it thus far. It's been about a month and a half total of me having the car, I believe, and I'm loving it, man. I'm loving every minute of it. But please excuse me here with this footage, man. Since I left the actual charger, like, I'm struggling with this POV mount thing. I'm still getting used to it, man. Still getting used to the POV mounts. It's like the head mount is almost like too high, but then when I put the chest mount on, it's too low. So I'm like, damn, bro, it's like I need something like right in the middle. So still figuring this out, but I was able to get some pretty cool footage just on my way back to the apartment after a good day. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this one, man. So if y'all made it this far, man, I appreciate all y'all support. Make sure y'all please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share the video with a friend, man, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace.